read through everything first and notice what it's trying to tell you so that you know how to talk to your subconscious through this body language. Your brain accepts information through your five senses. So the way it sees things is really powerful. The way you say things and think, say out loud or not out loud, but the way you say things to yourself is really powerful. How do you talk to yourself? When you make a mistake, what do you say? Or, man, good job, let's try it again. So the way you see things and the way you talk to yourself are really powerful in creating a new you. Or in other words, releasing the untruths and the blocks that are keeping you from accepting who you really are. You're not recreating anything. You already are who you are.
Release the block and what?
Release the block and accept who you are. So, if this is your spirit, sorry, you get my ginger man view.
What does that say about you?
I am in trouble, that's what it says. This would represent your body. We usually think of it the other way around, that my spirit is stuffed inside this body. That's not true at all. Who I am is a spiritual being. You've all heard this. I am a spiritual being. My spirit, or my body is in semblance, image of my spiritual being. And I'm down here having a physical experience. Now, you say that over and over consciously, but we haven't yet accepted the reality of what that means. If this is me, and I've accepted that I'm a physical being, I'm living in a physical world, I have a physical being, I'm sure missing out on a lot of who I really am. When I live in this belief of physical being, trying to have spiritual experiences, and I'm not talking about what your conscious mind knows, I'm talking about what your subconscious has accepted. When I live in this realm of I am a physical being, trying to have more and more spiritual experiences, I live in fear and protection and a neediness. I need others to validate me. I need others to tell me I'm good because I'm believing that I'm less than who I really am. As long as I have accepted a belief that's less than my true self, I'm going to feel less than. And then I'm going to be creating coping skills. Coping skills for feeling less than are things like earning my worth, trying to do a really good job, or being angry at people who don't tell me I'm doing a good job. And the second you do a good job, it's because you're still feeling less than, you've got to go do a good job again. And now you've got to go do a good job again. You never create enough earning your worth to relieve this lie. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, but I want you to say it all over again.
I will say it again. I will say it 3 times in different ways. All right.
Write it down. So you said something about the subconscious mind. That's what that little body inside is what we think.
Mm-hmm. I consciously know that I am a spiritual being and I'm down here having a physical experience. I know that in my brain. I've heard that. I've been taught that. I've been told I'm a child of God. But my conscious mind is only 5% of running my life. If my subconscious believes that I'm a spiritual being, just having a physical experience, I'm going to be living as a child of God. I'm going to know my eternal worth. I'm going to know that whatever I'm doing is just learning from my experience, and that mistake taught me something. I won't need other people to validate me or tell me I'm good. I won't be upset when other people do things that I don't like because I know they're also having their experience. I live on a completely different level when I know subconsciously, not just consciously, and have fully accepted the truth that I am a spiritual being, a child of God, down here having a physical experience. When I believe I am a physical being, this is how you can tell where your subconscious is at. When I believe subconsciously that I am a physical being and I keep trying to have spiritual experiences, then I feel less than. Because I've accepted a belief that I'm less than who I really am.
So when, say that again, when we're a spiritual being trying to have spiritual experience, then we're not living.
When you're a physical being, if your mind's in a physical being.
Right.
If I have accepted the belief, the untruth, that I am a physical being, and I'm just here trying to have spiritual experiences, but I believe I'm a physical being rather than just having a physical experience, then I have accepted a belief that says I am less than who I really am. So no wonder I walk around feeling less than. And the coping skills for feeling less than are trying to do or earn my worth, which never changes the belief, so it's never enough. It actually puts me in what I call a lie cycle. So first I believe I'm less than. Now I'm trying to earn my worth, so I don't think I'm less than, but it's not addressing the belief, it's just trying to do something different, like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. So the less than feeling emotion comes up, so I go do something else to earn my worth. And if somebody doesn't tell me I'm doing a good job, I feel irritated because they're triggering my belief that I'm less than, right? So no matter how much I do to earn my worth, I always feel less than, because the feeling isn't coming from what I do, the feeling is coming from my belief. This is essentially like taking the car and putting it in motion and then saying, okay, subconscious that I don't have any control over, drive. And I'll sit here on the passenger side and hope that you get me someplace good. And when it drives somewhere that I'm not happy about, it's, why did this happen to me? And I feel like a victim. All of those are indications that I've accepted the belief that I'm only a physical being. Yeah.
Just a little tidbit that kind of, it was interesting. I heard this, I don't know where I read this years ago. This guy had an out-of-body experience after he died, and he was then able to, in his spirit, understand how much he was not seeing in his physical body. He realized that our eyeballs are the only aperture for light that we take in physically and consciously understand. But in his out-of-body experience, he could see through his feet, he could see all around him, his back could see, everything could see and comprehend light. And it was just really interesting how his perspective changed my perspective, but also when he went back into his body, he realized that he was a spiritual being in a physical body.
I love that. One of the things I've studied for years and years is the near-death experiences, or life before death or life after death, those experiences and what people have said about it. It's very powerful understanding that they come back with, according to their own understanding, but everybody explains basically the same thing. I realized that this wasn't me. One of my dear friends had that experience. She says she came back, she was depressed for 5 years. And then she had a baby, and she had a memory of, oh, that's right, this is why I agreed to come back.
Wow. In the labor?
Mm-hmm.
So she had the near death, and then she came back and she had a baby,
Uh-huh.
and then went through depression.
The depression was the second she came back.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
5
yeah,
years, she was depressed. It was so hard for her to come back into the physical body and not have access to all that light that she had felt.
Because she was remembering the experience.
Yes.
So she was depressed that she was on this earth instead of there.
Because she was remembering this near-death experience and the light that she felt, and it was hard to come back into this physical body. Now, if you go into quantum physics, you find out that there's actually nothing that is as tangible as we see it, that when you go down to the atoms and the photons that are there, it's 99.99999% space. We are mostly space. So we perceive physical, but what's actually happening is mostly space. And that space is where we have the opportunity to learn who we really are.